Hello everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. So today I've got new molds to show you. So we're not doing Christmas molds, but I'm still going to kind of incorporate Christmas colors since they're not really Christmassy molds. So this was an Into resin mold that I have not poured yet, and these two Don and I made. So this is a beautiful jar. The problem is it took like 90 ounces of silicone. So if you end up wanting the mold, it is not a cheap mold. It is so much silicone because the lid is so high. And I don't know, that's it. That's all I can say. It is really, really, really high, tapered. It should be beautiful. So I'm going to keep everything simple today, which is shocking, and transparent. So I pulled out my 16 color translucent resin pigments, which are dyes. They say dye. So I'm going to do one in red, one in green. And then these are the amethysts that we picked up when we were at Ruby Falls on our vacation. So we just molded them. So I'm just literally going to do 4 colors, drip that in and pour clear in and see if that kind of mimics the amethyst. I hope so. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens. So I did measure them with alcohol. I didn't want a ton left over today. So this jar total is about 5 ounces, and that will give me a little extra. And this one is 12, no, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 ounces. The bottom is 8. This is the top. I'm sorry, the top is 8. The bottom is 6. So 14 ounces for that one. So I am going to mix them probably separately. I don't know. Let me just grab some resin. I'll figure it out. Brushes in hand and the world is my stage. I mixed it all together. I did 22 ounces, so this should give me plenty of extra to mess around with. I'm just hoping the top doesn't flash cure. So we're going to find out together because it is quite deep for epoxy without using deep pour resin, but it tapers a lot. So that's why I'm thinking hopefully it might be okay. So I'm just going to separate 2 ounces and 5 ounces from here, and then we'll mix up our colors. So that's going to be for my amethyst because I don't think we're going to need more than 2 ounces for that. So let's see, I started at 22. 20. Perfect. Look at that. And then 5 for this. Could it be perfect? Oh my God. Totally perfect. 5 exactly, 2 exactly. That's going to stay clear. Which one do I want red and which one do I want green is the question. I think I'm going to do the small one green and I'm going to do the big one red. And I'm not talking like opaque kind of green, like pretty green, like transparenty Christmassy green. And I don't know if the lid and the base are going to be different because of the way they're shaped as far as color-wise after we pour it. So it's something we all learn on new molds, right? That's pretty light on my stick, so that's going to be really light. Let me do some more. And the dyes last longer than your alcohol inks. So if you have a piece you want to make sure is not going to fade, make sure you use some dyes. I mean, we don't want any of our pieces to fade, obviously, but if you're doing like a keepsake for somebody, I highly recommend you use the dyes instead of the inks. Especially, you don't know where they're going to be storing them, if they're in the sunlight, where they're going to be at. So do your best to be proactive for them since they don't know any better if they're ordering. All right, that was the one that's called Emerald Green. And this one I'm going to do bright red. Just going to squirt a bunch in there because I got a lot of resin here. This one for sure, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be the same color. Like mica powders would be perfect because it would come out the same color. But when you're working with inks, It's no telling what it's going to look like when you demold it. That's pretty red, so I'm going to do one more squirt. You know how I work. I think that would be good. So, not Christmassy molds, but we're making them Christmassy because a lot of people use these beautiful kinds of jars to put candy out during the holidays for their company. And that big one is going to make a gorgeous candy dish, especially in Christmas colors. Okay, all we got to do is get the bubbles out.
Glitz and glitter lighting up the night, painting dreams with a shimmer so bright, rhinestones dancing, catching every eye. This is my moment, gonna touch the sky. Dipped in gold with a stroke of flare, diamond shine in the midnight air, glue and gems, they're my magic.
I wasn't going to admit this, but I think it's kind of funny, but kind of crazy. So how many of you sing the Glitz and Glitter song when the vacuum chamber's on, right? So I literally just turned the vacuum chamber on in a quiet room, and as soon as I turn my vacuum chamber on, in my head, the Glitz and Glitter song goes off. That's craziness. Oh my God, I was like, no way. I can't believe I just did that in my head. All right, I'm just going to pour this and move on with my crazy... I guess I'm in here way too often, or I edit way too much. It was crazy. Now, this one, unfortunately, is one of the lids we don't like. This one, the crystal is face down. So you can put a decoration on the top if you would like to, especially if you pour it in an opaque color. You wouldn't be able to see the crystals. But that's part of the reason I chose a transparent color. And I'm trying my hardest to dome this perfectly because this is going to be our finished top. And it's going to shrink a little bit. So I do want to dome it the best I could and pray. I mean, it looks pretty cut pretty well. So, oh, there's a little black something in there. There we go. Oh, there's another one. Come on. We don't want you in there. All right. And I've seen one more. I don't know what that is. Tiny little speck. Come on. Maybe when it gets thicker, I'll be able to get it out. Got it. All right. So let's spray this one. Gosh, it doesn't seem like 5 ounces is enough, but I measured it. So let's hope my measurements were right. It's always these walled things that make me nervous. Oh, and you know what? I didn't dome it when I did that. So I'm going to use some of that clear. I'm not too worried if I don't have enough for all those amethysts, because I only need a little bit more, barely anything. Generally, I don't dome handmade molds, but because of that lid and the way it is, I'm going to. So let's spritz those bubbles. Some alcohol. Why aren't they popping? Are immune? Do you have an immunity? I'm not touching my pointy things, just so you know, on the actual mold. But I was trying to get that bubble to rise. All right, I'm just going to top this one up. And it's clear. Let me grab a little stick because I need to mix the green in. Forgot you're going to see the clear in this one. Oh gosh, I'm still thinking about that song. All right, that looks pretty good. A little streaky, but alcohol inks, dyes like this, they tend to all merge together while they're curing, even if you don't want them to. Like every time I leave it because I want them stringy, they don't stay that way. Let me move that out of the way. Move these things. so you guys can see what's going on over here. All right, gently moving. They look kind of different colors. I hope they're going to be okay. Let's get the big one poured because I'm worried about it so deep in my cup over here. All right, I'm going to spritz. There is a little alcohol sitting at the bottom from when I measured it, which is right on the surface now. I didn't even put crushed crystal in, you guys. Are you proud of me? Literally taking, I don't know, is this a vacation for all the work that I'm doing my projects? But you know what? When they're done, I'm sure I'm going to end up doing something. Probably. I'm not sure. I can't promise. But sometimes things don't need anything done to them. It needs to get up and under that lip, and then I will pull any bubbles out that I see. That alcohol is going to come up first. What did I do? Did I put my pink stick back? I must have. So this lip, I could see under it. I don't really see any bubbles, but let's just make sure because I had that alcohol in there that got pushed up first. So that really avoids them. That looks good, I think. I don't think I need it domed. Maybe I better put it a little bit more because of that lip. It's a thin lip. A little bit more. This is the first time I'm pouring it. I literally don't have a clue how the mold's going to work. It could be a complete bust and 90 ounces of silicone for nothing. But that's what I'm here for. A learning experience. Let me move this back without spilling it everywhere. That is going to cure quickly because it's so deep. That's why I'm not worried about like it fuming and boiling deep, but the fact that it will probably like, I don't know how to explain it, curl back on itself sometimes when it gets too hot too fast. I've seen it happen in some of my clocks. Oh gosh, I don't have enough, you guys. I'm gonna have to use that and make red. How did I not? I even mixed up an extra ounce. Goodness. How in the world am I going to match that red? Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put a little bit of the red in that clear. Use that up, and then I'll just pour a couple more ounces of clear. Not a big deal. I'm almost to the top, literally almost. So let me put some red in there. I probably don't need all of that. In fact, I'll do half at a time. I'll just do a little bit because I don't need all of this, I don't think. Matching, that's what I worry about, is the matching. But like I said, it should, plus I'm going to make bubbles once I do this really gently. Really gently, and hopefully the bubbles won't get lodged under that lip. It almost looks orangey because I'm trying to be light on the transparency-ness of it. Is that perfect? Oh my gosh, that's perfect. Okay, so I still have a little bit left to do some amethyst. Good. Not a total bust. But all of you that love extras, I don't think today's your day. I'm so sorry. All right, that's good. Oh, there's my pink stick right there where I left it. I don't see any bubbles underneath that lip, so I'm just going to leave it as it is. For these, I don't know. I might only have enough to do two, so we'll do one at a time. I'm going to do blue violet. Let's drop a couple drops in there. And then pour the resin. and see what it does. I'll have enough for about 2 of them. It didn't do anything. That is not what I wanted to happen, so I'm going to help it. It didn't spread at all. I should have probably sprayed alcohol in there. These are highly concentrated, so it's not like an alcohol ink. That might work. We'll see. So I'm going to spray alcohol in the next. I have enough for probably not a whole one. I might have to go back and, what was that? Blue violet? Let's do sapphire. Because they're concentrated, they're not going to spread like a normal alcohol ink would. And what did I do with my spatula now? Oh my gosh. Let me wipe this off. Just going to pour it in. So that helped. For sure helped. Spread that blue. So I had enough for 2. Do I mix some more up and make 4? That is the question. That was what, about 1 ounce? I probably only need, I don't know what I need. I have no idea what I need. I'm just going to go in here, kind of mix it. I really wanted it concentrated on the bottom. Now I've got bubbles in there. All right, so what do I do? What do I do? Pop those bubbles, pop those bubbles. Everything looks good. Why not? I'll mix up a couple more ounces. Well, not a couple more ounces. Probably 1.5 ounces. Maybe 50 mils. I'll do 50 mils. I did 40 milliliters and I actually did the fast cure. So we'll see how the fast cure reacts. This one is violet. 3 drops. And I still have some bubbles in here. I did run it through the vacuum chamber for a little bit, but I don't need to fill them completely up. I will if I have enough, but there's really no, you don't have to. Let me just mix that down in there. I don't know. We'll see what this looks like. Hopefully it's pretty. And the last one I picked was peach red. This way we could see a few colors today. It's going to be like pink. Oh, that was good. Not too much, not too little. Actually, I could put a little more in this one and fill it up. And that was perfect. 40 milliliters for the 2 of those. And I can actually scrape and put it in the rest. Little one in each. There. There. And that would be it, my friends. That is all she wrote. I just added some bubbles to that one. That totally stinks. Shouldn't have done that. I will watch it. If they rise, I will try to pop them, but most likely, being fast cure, they may not. All right, let's see who the comment of the day is. I think it's safe to get everything out. They're barely warm, just a little bit, but we can do these first. So let's pop the crystals out. Let's see what they're looking like. Oh, they are crystally. That came out pretty good, although it's You can't tell I did an alcohol ink drop. It's just pink. I wonder if I should paint that to look like a rock or just leave it. I don't know. I think I might just leave it. I kind of don't want the rock look. That one was the purple or blue violet maybe? Yeah, blue violet one, which is pretty. It does have blue and violet in there. So that's the two. This will come in the set of 4. So if you want one, that's how we're selling them. Let's see this one. Ooh, that one's pretty. Why is it always nicest in its original color? So that is the purple, gorgeous. And the blue. There we go. This one didn't have a ton of crystals on it, but it had some. So those are the 4 crystals. All right, I'm gonna let this one cool down for even just a couple of minutes as we do these. So this one, like I said, is upside down. You could put something on the top if you wanted to. Let me unsuction it. Oh, it came right out. Hopefully. The top doesn't need too much trimming, maybe a nail file at an angle. But see, that crystal part is what I want up, but they didn't do it on this one. So you could still see it on this one, which is good. That's kind of why I didn't put anything on the top. You can put maybe like the butterfly or something, anything, a flower. But I didn't really want to cover that up, so that's why I left it today. Let's get the jar out. Come on. I got a few bubbles in there, but you can't even tell. So that is gorgeous. Look at the sides. And it fits like that. I mean, it's a pretty jar, but wouldn't that have been prettier if it was like that? I don't know. That's just my opinion. So I got a little trimming to do right here. Just barely filing it on that edge. If I screw it up, I'll probably end up putting stones on there. But yeah, there's that one. And it's got the same pattern on the top and the bottom, almost, minus that little star in the middle. So that's really pretty. A little Christmas candy dish. And then let's do, I think this one will come out a little easier than the bottom piece as far as being warm. I didn't get any bubbles on the bottom of that. That's awesome. All right, let's just pop it out. It should come right out. There we go. See how I was saying it's so tall? Look at that. It's got a small lip on there, but it should be good enough to close. I mean, that's what we molded. So a few bubbles on this edge. That was up underneath the silicone. But that is pretty. All right, let's hope this one comes out just as nice. Pull that out. There we go. There it is. Look at how pretty that is. Isn't that cute to sit on your table? I don't remember where we found this. We found this somewhere and we're like, oh, we're molding that. I don't want to leave it on though because it's still warm and it's going to adhere itself forever if you don't let it cure completely first. So I will go ahead and trim up the bottom around that edge. This doesn't really need much except taking that little jagged edge off. Other than that, nothing. So that's pretty. Let me think about if I want to do anything to it and if I want to do anything to this, and then I will be right back.
Michelle's hands move slow and steady. Green jar waits for its shining crown. Pearlescent rhinestones catch the sunlight. She hums a hymn, her head bowed down. Glitz and glitter, love and care, Every sparkle whispers a prayer. On her knees or at her stand, she serves the Lord with glittering hands. The red jar gleams, a glamorous treasure, iridescent jewels in perfect line. She sets each stone like it's her mission, giving glory through her design. Oh, every box a story told, faith wrapped in resin, grace and gold. Glitz and glitter, love and care. Every sparkle whispers a prayer. On her knees or at her stand, she serves the Lord with glittering hands. Some see rhinestones, some see jars, but she sees heaven shining far. A little craft, a holy call to honor Jesus in it all.
Okay guys, you know I couldn't leave them alone. You know I had to put my signature on them. And anything with cross hatches never gets left alone. This was sitting outside my door in a package. There's no label. I don't know who it's from. The label was very empty. So whoever you were that sent me this mica powder, it's one of my favorite colors. So you must have known that or you wouldn't have sent it. So I don't know who sent it, what company it's from, but I love it. Thank you so very much. And these are not, I'm done. I just trimmed the bottoms and I didn't do anything to them. I decided not to paint the rock color. So I'm just going to leave them as they are. All right, so what I did, I had to change over glues in the middle of this. So because of all these cross hatches, look at that. Can you even see them? They're AB stones, Aurora Borealis. And these are medium size from the bottom to here. And then these are small and these are extra small. When I got to this size, I hate fighting with the B7000. I hate the strings it leaves, but I do it because I know it's strong. When I got to these tiny ones, couldn't do it. It was just like a mess of glue. So I wiped it off, went back to my liquid fusion. It went on beautifully. So I was able to finish the last 2 rows with the other glue that I used to always use. I know there won't be a problem with it, but I do know that the B7000 is supposed to be stronger on your resin than the liquid fusion is, but I had no choice. I hope you can see them. I don't know that you can, but I think they look gorgeous. Anytime I see cross hatches, you know I gotta fill them. Then for the box, this is what I did to the sides. Oops, I gotta clean that right there. Let me do that before I forget. A little bit of glue on there. Just wipe it down with alcohol, get that glue off. It's harder a little bit when it's dried, which is a good thing. So I went with these pearlescent pearls so you can see them. There's one on my hand now. And then I did go around the top and I found this brooch. So I cut the back off and I glued it to the top. I thought that went pretty well with these. And the bottom inside is pretty. Now the outside is pretty. And that's all I did with that. Well, it took a little while, but I think it's cute. I don't know. A lot of you may not like the additions, but it's in my blood, y'all. I can't not do it. So anytime I see cross hatches, you know it's already going to get done. Because when I see that, I see cake. And in the cakes, you always put a little edible pearl in all of those, and they look gorgeous. That's all I got for you guys today. I hope you come back and join me tomorrow. I have a few more things to do, and I will see you then. Have a blessed day, everybody. Bye.
Glitz and glitter paint her way. She lights up hearts come what may. With a brush of faith she starts. Jesus whispers through her art. Patience blooms in every hue. Her love for viewers shines so true. Shimmer sparkles in her eyes. A radiant soul under bright skies. Glitz and glitter, Michelle, a story. Her colors tell faith and love in every part. Jesus guides her shining heart. Ooh, 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 ooh. Canvas dreams and sparkly streams. Her laughter flows like sunlit beams. With each stroke her spirit sings, a masterpiece of golden wings. She sprinkles joy like morning dew. In every shade a promise new. A life of love, a life of grace. In her art we see his face. Glitz and glitter, Michelle, a story. Her colors tell faith and love in every part. Jesus guides her shining heart.